Welcome, Cancer. Okay, well, welcome, Cancer. Cancer Cross Watchers, to your mini weekly love reading. So we'll get cards for you, a card for them, and a card for the situation between you guys. So I hope you guys have had a great weekend, and that you have a, well, like, woo! If I had a fan, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's getting a little hot in here. So, sorry, guess I'm a little giddy today. So we have the Justice, the Nine of Swords, and the High Priestess on your end, which is a lot of big energy. That's two major arcana, right? So I actually feel here, Cancer, that it actually feels like somebody feels bad for feeling like they led you in the wrong direction here. I feel like to a certain extent, this is probably very specific. I feel like somebody feels that they gave you advice on a relationship, and it's like they realized that they gave you erroneous advice. That's not a word I use normally, so that's got to be someone, I hope that word is confirmation for someone, because that's not a word that's in my vocabulary usually. Anyway, I'm rambling. I feel like there's somebody here that feels bad for having given you advice to wait on somebody. I feel like it's like part of them feels that it's almost like they know that they gave you advice based on their own painful experiences. And it's like they feel that they have somehow done a disservice to you, because they feel like, from their perspective, they feel like you're waiting for somebody that doesn't have your best interests at heart, and they seem to feel that it's somehow their fault. I feel like they are going to try to pull you away from the situation, but they seem to feel it's like this. Honestly, man, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I feel like this person has no idea what's going on with you internally. They just seem to be somehow blaming themselves for something that, number one, wouldn't be their fault, and number two, you're not even doing. You know what I mean? It's more like, what it feels like to me is you're looking at a situation that, somebody made the wrong choice, and you're looking at it like, well, hit the road then. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't seem to be hitting you as hard as this person thinks that it is. It's like this person thinks you are all tied up in this situation over here, but actually it's like it's almost like your karma here, and you've evaluated the situation and you found this person that this one seems to feel bad for you even being with. It's like you found the wanting, and you're sitting there like, bitch, no, not even to this person, but like to this other one. I feel like you're looking at them like, I can almost hear you say to this person, like, oh, you don't really think I'm going to compete for your ASS, do you? It's almost like I'm not going to be getting into competition with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to work for you. Wow, I am so full of sass today. Sorry. But that's what it is. And so I feel like here's this person over here, and they see you as kind of like tied up in this situation, and they're feeling bad, and they're this and they're that. And I'm not really sure why this person feels like it's all about them somehow. They seem to feel that they're a lot more of a focus in your life than they are. And I actually feel like maybe they feel that they're doing this because they feel bad and they this and they that, but it actually feels like they're a bit self-centered. It's like this person would be the kind of person that would get you, it's like they'd ask you questions about what's going on in your life with a level of genuine care and concern, and then you start telling them, and then they're going to relate it back to themselves. You know what I mean? It's like everything seems to come back to them. They seem to find a way to like always bring the conversation around to themselves. So it's like even here, like they're worried about you, but they're more worried about you, about how you feel, or sorry, how they feel about you and the effect they've had on your life, and how something going wrong in your life must be their fault. It's a little bit of, it's like they've got a guilt complex a little bit, but also this like sense of overimportance in other people's lives. You know what I mean? It's like you're over here like, It's almost like, bruh, I make my own decisions. And this one over here is like, yeah, but I must have told you something. You know what I mean? And like, number one, you're not doing what they think you're doing. And number two, it actually feels like it's a skosh annoying that this person thinks that they have that much influence. It's like they might even be saying to other people. They may not, okay, because it just feels like their vibe is that it's somehow their fault that your life has gone south when they don't really have decision making capability within your life. So, moving on to your person, not this one here. This is your actual person. Um, Whoa, the energy coming off of this one is like down boys. Like simmer down. And that doesn't mean it's a male or identifies as such, right? It's just this, it's a really physically charged energy. Like really, it's making me a little uncomfortable. So this person seems to be somebody that it's like they're very, very passionate. But what I really love about their energy is that they're not just like hot to trot for, a warm body, if you will. I feel like this is somebody that like they're actually making me feel a little uncomfortable. With just the kind of intensity. It's like if this person, for me, like if this person was staring at me, it would make me so uncomfortable because even their energy is. I feel like it might make you feel a little bit bashful. It might make you blush because it's like you might feel the intensity, or you might be able to kind of sense that they're having a little bit of a fantasy in that moment about you, or they're imagining you in it doesn't have to be a particular position or anything like that, but it's like they're just imagining being alone with you. It's like someone's looking at you and they're biting their bottom lip. You know what I mean? Looking at you like, yes, I'd like to take Dancer home with me. It's that kind of an energy. But what's really interesting about it is that it doesn't feel like this person is that like kind of player energy that you would probably want to sidestep. That probably, I say probably, but like that's this past energy. It feels like it's someone that it's like when they're about somebody, they're about that person. You know what I mean? It's like this is the kind of person that it doesn't mean that they don't have friends and they don't go out with them, but when they're out with their friends, it's like they're going to call you on the way home to check in because they missed you. You know what I mean? They're not calling to check in because you're jealous and da 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 da. It's like they're going to call in and check in and be like, hey, how are you? Just checking in to see how you're doing. Just wanted to hear your voice before I go to sleep. It's that kind of an energy. It's like, I feel like they may be somebody that will have like a lot of first dates, but they never get beyond that. It's like because they're looking for what they want, but actually, really, truly giving themselves to somebody else. Listen, the physical chemistry coming off of this person, like, put it back in the box for a second. Like, if the two of you really hit it off, I think it's going to be something that'll be really fulfilling for you. Because this person seems to be somebody that it's like they're loyal without needing to have ownership. You know what I mean? It's like this is the kind of person that, um, how you see those memes where it's like, famous people are taking pictures with fans or whatever, and it's like there's some people that have their hand on somebody's hip or their shoulder, and there's other people that like here's the shoulder and their hand is clear. They're like, I'm not touching anybody. I'm not putting anything that I have at risk. It's like when something really means something to this person, when they've really found somebody that's worth making a commitment, they don't play around. You know what I mean? It does feel like they have a real playful, joyful, almost adventurous nature to them. But when it comes to things that are really important to them, they don't mess around. Um, it feels like this person is somebody that it's like, I want to say they've been looking for their person. It feels like for their whole life. And it's like they know what it's going to feel like when they find it, but they haven't found it yet. It's almost like maybe they've had this kind of feeling, or this, maybe they had a dream when they were young of like, I know what it's going to feel like when I find it. And so it's like, yeah, they're on the hunt. Yeah, they might be dating a lot, but they're not having more than, a date or two with people because it's like they don't see it. They can't see what they're looking for in that person. And once I find this, I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's a little bit amusing because I feel like this person is going to be all about you. They're going to be very focused on you. And I feel like you're kind of still in a bit of a, not limbo, but you're in this energy where you're kind of looking for balance. It's almost like you might not be looking for a relationship this intense. And not that you're not, you don't want a really fulfilling relationship, but it's like you don't seem to have that same hunting sort of vibe that this person does. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll meet this person, I'll go out, I'll do this, I'll do that, right? But I feel like you're gonna be surprised by this person's intensity because I feel like they know what you are to them. It almost feels like for such an intuitive sign, it almost feels like you may not pick up on how this person sees the connection until um, until you're so far in that like there's no way you would ever want to get out. It's almost like a drunk on love sort of energy. And what's really, I mean, I find it to be, it's something that like when you see two people this crazy about each other, it's like you kind of can't help but smile at it. You know what I mean? It'll make other people feel good to see um, that it's like relationships like this can still exist. I know, of course, right? It's like there's an ace, so there's the potential there. I don't want to put a whole bunch of pressure on this. I feel like you're in an energy where it's like it's not as big of a deal to you when it starts as it is to this person. And it's because they're looking for the key. You know what I mean? How they say, like, there's a key for every lock. And they seem to be quite taken with you. And I feel like when the two of you, I want to say when the two of you are together, but it's like when you're with this person, it feels like your past is a very distant memory. I feel to a certain extent that some people may try to warn you about this one and say that they're a player and that they're going to try to like sleep with you really early and all this stuff. Um, and I feel like to a certain extent, this person may have developed a bit of a reputation. Um, but it's strange because that doesn't really jive with what the cards were saying originally. That like actually to really be in it with somebody, to really be down for somebody, it's like this person doesn't give that to many people. So it's like there may be some things that you hear that people are like, oh well, this person did this or this person said this or this, they treated me this way, and you're like, well, they've never done that to me. I'm seeing the two of you at like a, for example, may not be the actual situation, but it's like the two of you are at like a baseball game or a sports, like a, not just an arena, but a big stadium kind of thing. And it's like, it could be their favorite game. And you say you want popcorn. They're like, no, 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 you stay here. I'll go get it for you. Whereas with other people, they'd be like, they just like, they wouldn't even try to look. They'd be like, hey, do you mind just grabbing me some popcorn sort of thing? You know what I mean? It's this energy of them having a different level of focus on you. I feel like you're going to notice that they're treating you very differently than even what other people expect. And it's like there's this look in their eye when people, I'm seeing them sitting there like, it's like they have their arm around your chair or something, or they have their leg in front of your leg when the two of you are sitting together with other people. And it's like as soon as they notice somebody else like kind of eyeing you up and down, it's like they're just going to look at that person until the person looks at them and be like, no, this one's, we're not going to do that. Like there's, but it doesn't feel like it's like an ownership thing. It's more like a I want to say protective, but it's not quite that. It's more like they're just not going to let anything sabotage something that's really important to them. I feel like to a certain extent, if they've been with people that were pursued by others in the connection, I feel like in the past, this person may have let certain things slide because it's like they seem to want to test those people to see if they were really down for them. But with you, it's like they don't want you to be put in an uncomfortable position because they don't doubt your commitment to them. So it's actually more like them trying to run interference and kind of keep you out of a situation where you have to be like, dude, I'm with your friend. Dude, I'm sitting here with somebody. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like they, not because they think you can't handle it, um, but they just don't want you to have to fight anything that you don't have to. It's like they don't want you to have to get into a pit that they can kind of steer you away from in the first place. I hope that's coming across properly because it's not a like they think you can't do it or this or that. It's like they just don't want you to go through unnecessary hardship, really. So I think I'll leave it there. It looks like you have a pretty exciting week coming up. I'm a little jealous, I'm not gonna lie. Um, I shouldn't say jealous because it's not like I want to take it from you, but I think it's going to be a good week. So I think it might not be as good a week for you as it is for them. But anyway, I'm rambling. If the reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. I'd love to hear about it if you're willing to share in the comments, so I can live vicariously through you. Anyway, I love you, Cancer, and I hope that this reading helped. I do have the February 2023 monthlies coming out this week, and then obviously the minis on Sunday, and then singles reads, and then there'll be a special Valentine's read, so please keep your eyes up for that. And we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.